Okay, so can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so to start off, your work spans a diverse range of mediums, from illustration and painting to audio visuals. How do you decide which medium to use for a particular project?
It depends on the project. It depends on what the client is asking for. If they want something that involves motion, then I will talk to them about it. I'll give them storyboards, and then we'll decide on how to proceed from there. But usually, lately I've been showing in galleries,
Mhm.
so it doesn't necessarily involve motion, not necessarily, unless it accompanies the theme of the show. It's like I have a few motion graphics or videos that I show sometimes with my paintings.
Okay, thank you. Can you tell us about your experiences at the various artist in residency programs you participated in, and how have these experiences influenced your work?
Well, the first one I did was in Germany. It was in a town called Saarbrücken,
Mhm.
and it was so much fun. It was my first residency. I was in a foreign country. I didn't speak the language, and what I did speak, I just really bastardized the language, but it was a lot of fun. And it's a beautiful town. Um, I was embraced. It was a lot of fun, and I was able to devote my time there just to work. I didn't have to teach. I didn't have to do anything. It was great. The second residency I did was also in Germany, in a place called Dilsberg, which is right outside of Heidelberg, and that too was a lot of fun. Um, it was um, it was myself and another artist, and we shared the apartment. We were given some studio space. My studio space wasn't as conducive to working as the other artists, but that was okay. I made do. And but it was a lot of fun being in the town, being influenced by another culture, talking to the locals. And I was sorry to leave. I wanted to stay forever. I love Germany, you know. It's such a great place. And then the SCAF, or Eileen Kaminsky residencies here in Jersey City, that is totally different. Um, she offers a small stipend for art supplies. And again, you're able to they give you studio space and you work, and that's about it. And they encourage you to do this or go to galleries or whatever. And they kind of helped with the artist statements, but uh I learned more on my own. So,
Oh,
but it was good. It was good. Great experience.
yeah. So, as a professor at Pratt Institute, how do you balance teaching with your own creative work? And what do you aim to impart to your students about the artwork?
Well, how do I balance? Well, aside time for everything. It's like this coming month I have to set time aside to set up my files, uh the Google Drive, and when I'm in school, I dedicate that time just for school. Uh, impart to the students what I want to impart, what I would like to impart to the students is do your best. Try your hardest. Don't compromise. Um, but listen, accept criticism and go out there and understand that you're not the only person out there. So if you're rejected, that happens. But you have to do your best. You can't, probably the most important aspect to being an artist. Lately I've noticed that a lot of them become discouraged or lazy, but I just try to help them get over that.
So, looking ahead, Which new themes or ideas does your personal identity and history continue to inform and involve your art practice today?
Well, that's a big one. Well, right now I'm working on, well, I usually, well, lately, like the last several years, I've been working on social issues, um, women's rights, and I'm starting a new series that involves climate change and pollution. So I'm socially conscious, and I try to I try to make somewhat of a difference, even though it may be small. Um, what was the question again? Can you say it again?
How does your personal identity and
Oh, my
history?
personal identity. Well, women's issues. That stems from my childhood. Having grown up in, of course, a different climate than people that nowadays. We had less freedoms. We had to fight um, for what we have, uh, and to have something taken away is very, very disheartening. Uh, so identifying as a woman or even identifying as a human being, it's very important to me. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So regarding your work, Commit to Memory, I also have a couple questions on that.
Okay.
I hope this project will influence the viewer's understanding of the relationship with environmental issues and society.
Well, it is a collaborative project that has, it's, I think I completed in 2019 and it has already traveled around the world. It's won some awards and I just proposed to another gallery the show. Um, so just to keep it out, yeah, just to make people aware. There are a few definitions that my partner, Nikel Davis, who lives in California. So it's interesting working with somebody who lives so far away. And she like, has attached different meanings to like, certain animals, like
Yeah, like the elephant, I think,
yeah, the elephant and
penguin.
I, yeah, I don't have that in front of me. Yeah, but she's attached social issues to and so personalized. When people are looking at something and they how I grew up or what it's like being me or who I'm married to or whatever, she's good at personalizing things. Whereas I'm basically just the illustrator. She tells me what she's doing and I say, okay, and I just interpret it. Of course, it's not without my opinion.
What challenges did you face in translating these complex themes into a cohesive?
What challenges? Say that again. Can you repeat
Um,
the question?
what challenges did you face with translating these complex themes into a cohesive show?
I would say I don't even look at it as a challenge.
Mhm.
I look at it as solving a problem. And that I think is the basic definition of being an illustrator is problem solving. So I was given like a poem about elephants and it was about death. So I had to interpret it in such a way that people can watch it. Like I couldn't have like there, and it was fairly explicit, but it wasn't something that you couldn't look at. So I would say it's mostly problem solving rather than challenges. I think at this point in time in my life, challenges have shifted.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you envision the show evolving or impacting future discussions about extinction and the societal change?
Well, I hope that people will talk about it more and maybe take some action,
Mhm.
give to certain causes, and become more aware. That's basically it.
Thank you. Um, the next few questions will cover your other project, Boxing Babes and Calso, portrayal of gender through television. How do you see this media societal perceptions of gender roles?
Well, I think that television has a very big influence. Um, again, things have shifted, but not as much as I would like to see. I would like when I was younger, I was hoping to improve the roles of women um, to a point where sexism wasn't so rampant. And I feel that although it has gotten better, we're still not where I would like us to be.
So the work seems to blend both abstraction and realism. So how do these contrasting styles help you convey the complexity of the issues you address?
Well, I think that's mostly a stylistic type of choice. I primarily figurative, but throwing in abstract aspects um, helps the viewer embrace the paintings, and hopefully it conveys the message as well that I'm trying to bring across.
Um, what kind of work?
It's mostly positive.
Uh,
Um, yeah, it's positive. As a matter of fact, when I first started putting out the Cowgirls, out of nowhere, I kept posting to Facebook and social media and Instagram, and out of nowhere, someone got in touch with me, who I had known like years ago, whose significant other or boyfriend or whatever he is wanted to purchase the painting. So I was like I was impressed. So I think that's like probably the highest compliment because he only saw it online and it wasn't even finished yet. So like that was great. And he purchased that. And plus they bought a lot of, and I think that these issues, since I'm not being so explicit in terms of grossing people out, I'm making it more palatable for the viewer to digest. And I think people can really relate to the Bacau girls. I mean, like, you know, like at one point he was referring to himself as a gunslinger. And I said, okay, if that's where you're at, that's great. But I've noticed that like a lot of people just gravitate towards both the genres, which is great. They can relate to it.
the line between critique and celebration with your portrayal of women in more masculine dominated professions.
How do I say that again?
I think
Repeat the question.
balance
Balance.
between celebration of women and critique of these gender roles in your portrayal in the series.
Well, I think that what I'm doing is empowering, you know. I'm continuing to empower them and put them in compromising positions. Um, so I think that, you know, that's probably why people are so drawn to,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's it.
Yes.
That's it.
It
Oh, how'd I do?
was a pleasure speaking with you.
Well, thank you very much. Pleasure seeing you.
Yeah, thank you again for sparing your time.
Oh, my pleasure, and thank you for having me.